E-waste. And what is the status of e-waste in India and in China? Why we talk about India and China? Because we are the great contributors to e-waste material. And like that way we have EEE directives, that is waste electronics equipment directive, and what should be done for this disposal. So e-waste is nothing but it's electrical or electronic equipment that has been discarded. This includes working and broken items that are thrown in garbage or donated to the charity. Even unsold items are also sometimes when they are not sold, they go to the garbage, e-waste, right? So what are the list of the common e-waste items? We have these items we have in home appliances are there, communications and information technology devices are there, home entertainment devices are there, electronic utilities are there, office and medical equipments are there. In home appliances we have microwaves, home treatment device, entertainment devices are there, electric heaters or cookers are there, fans are there. Then in IT devices we have cell phones, smartphones are there, computers, monitors, laptops, circuit boards and hardboards are the source for e-waste. And similarly that we have is home entertainment devices, we have DVDs, Blu-ray players, studios, televisions, fax machines, copier, printers, and electronic utilities we have massage chairs, eating pads, remote controls, lamps, lights, treadmills, Fitbits. And in office, our medical equipment that we have are that printers, copiers, racks, servers, cables, dialysis machines, imaging equipment. These are used in the medical field. And then we have phone, PBX systems, audio and video equipment. Now we know that globally, basically, we generate almost 53.6 million tons of the e-waste, and about 18% or 74% is recycled, rest 82% is uncycled. So basically, United States, India and China, we are the great contributors to it. That is, China has contributed almost 10.1 million tons, United States almost 7 million tons, and India is contributing about 3.2 million tons. And what are the gaps? You know, how to tackle this management of e-waste management? For that matter, you know, the gaps, we have identified the gaps. Those gaps are uncertain financial management. That means there is no proper budget allocation for its utilization. So there should be basically budget allocation which is still not there. And secondly, what we do, India or China, we are importing a lot of second-hand equipment, which is in the form of e-waste. So that is also contributing to it. So how to fill up that gap is also a matter of concern. Then what is the capacity building of regulatory authorities? Because we are not able to define properly that what the regulatory authorities are supposed to do to the actual management of e-waste management. And then the next one is the collection centers. We don't have that system, that how it will be collected, where it will be collected, how it will be disposed of. That's again a gap in the whole mechanism. And then inventarization of e-waste. We don't know that how much is the computer waste, how much is the printer waste, how much is the television waste, how much is the tube waste, light waste, etc. So there should be proper inventarization, which is not there. And then the promotion for developing of infrastructures of recycling, it is also not there. So we need to in fact provide this infrastructure for recycling, which has yet to be adequately created. So that then the merging mechanism for EPR and ROHS. EPR means EPR is nothing but it's a extended producer responsibility. That means as a producer I am supposed to take that material back to me and then I can dispose it of scientifically, properly. And ROHS is nothing but the restrictions on the hazardous substances. So there should be some restriction. How they should be applied on it are supposed to be the matter of concern. As I told you that introduction, for this introduction, almost 50 tons of this e-waste is generated globally, and India basically in 2006 we generated about 0.1 million metric ton of the waste, which has now gone up to 3.2 million now to the great extent. Similarly, in Delhi only we generated about 1.07 lakh tons e-waste previously. Now it is again gone up to more than 2 million tons, 2 lakh tons. Then basically EE is nothing but electronics equipments. They generate toxic material with them, and therefore we are supposed to control them properly. And for that matter, we need certain guidelines. So these guidelines were issued by the government in 2008, and they were modified in 2011 and 16 and 2022. These are the electronic equipments. We know that computers, mobile, air conditioners, laptops, telephone, irons, drill machines, that means they are all a part of e-waste. And basically, what is the reason why there is a generation of e-waste? That is because of the reason that changes and advancement in technology, changes in fashion, style and status, configuration, changes there, attractive offers from the manufacturers are there, and small lifespan of the equipment. They are the factors responsible for generation of these e-waste material. And the generator of e-waste are basically household, business establishments are there, government institutions are there, and the manufacturing establishments are also responsible for this. Now you can see that earlier the lifespan of computers was about 6 years. Now this has come to 2 years because of technological advancements in the equipment. And similarly, the mobile phones also they have gone from they are also less than 2 years lifespan. And because of this lesser span of the age, this generation of e-waste material has gone up in many folds. Now, in 2022, this electronic waste was about 62 million tons, and it is expected that by 2030 it will go up to 82 million tons. In case of Indian scenario, if we take the states, then we can see that Maharashtra is contributing about 19.8%, followed by Tamil Nadu 13.1%, and so on up to Madhya Pradesh. It goes up to 7.6%. That's how it's a generation of the e-waste generation in tons per year. What are the effects of e-waste? Basically, this is the pollution. They pollute the groundwater. They pollute the soil by acidification. The emission of toxic fumes and gases are there, and this is the fastest growing portion of the municipal waste. Now, how to tackle this waste? Basically, we have municipal. But before that, I'll talk about that what are the material it contains. So we have valuable material in it, that is plastic, copper, iron. Then we have gold, platinum, gallium, indium is there, and so on. If you see this picture, in which we can see that the computer is there, which is containing about 32% of the gas metal, 23% of the plastic metal, and 18% is non-ferrous, and 15% are the glass, and 20% is the other metal, which could be gold and silver and things like that. When we can see the effect of these hazardous element, like for example, if you take the lead, it damages the nervous system, it affects the brain. If you see the cadmium, it affects the kidney and liver and the neural system. If you see the mercury, then it affects the brain, respiratory system, and skin disorders are there. If you talk about the beryllium, it causes lung cancer. If you see the barium, which is also in the e-waste material, it is also cause muscle weakness, damage to the heart, liver, and spleen. So, what is the hierarchy? What are the ways and means to reduce it? For that matter, we have 3R principle, which is reduce, reuse, recycle, and then dispose. For that matter, what we can see that in reduce, basically what we do, we try to lengthen the span of the gadgets by going for the upgrades and repair. So basically, if we have a mobile with us, so what we do, let us try to take with it as long as possible. If you want to expand its configuration, you can do it. But rather than buying a new mobile, it's better to use it as long as possible, so that it will reduce the impact on the manufacturing of its production. Then the reuse. The reuse means possibly if If you want to buy a mobile, let us say it's a compulsion for you. You want to buy it. So for that matter, what you can do, whatever you have, you can donate it, or you can give it back to the company, so that they can again maybe go for remodification of it, and maybe then resale going for the resale for it. Then third is the recycle. For recycling, what we do basically, we should recycle responsibly. Do not throw e-waste items with other waste and them to an informal recycler. That means this is what we have seen, that in the market we have two sectors. One is informal sector and other one is informal sector. Informal sector is what we have seen kabadi walas. You know, they come to every house and they collect all garbage, this sort of material from you. That is called informal. But if there is a legitimate organization from the government side who are registered with the government, they are called formal sectors. So basically, we should hand this e-waste material to such formal sectors who are responsible for its disposal in a scientific way to the authorized agencies. Then dispose your e-waste material properly. Dispose or sell your e-waste to authorized agencies only. Then what are the ways and means for e-waste disposal? We can do them by recycling. Landfill is there, incineration is there, reuse method can be adopted. Okay. For recycling is defined as a assembling, developing, promoting or buying of a new products. Recycling means what we do in recycling. Now we have let us say we have a mobile or computer there are a lot of circuits in it. There are many chips are there. There are many small circuits are there. We can take out those circuits. We can use it in another computer. We can refurbish those computers and resell it. So that is what is done in the recycling. So these are the steps in recycling. Dismantling is there. Removal of hazardous material is there. PCB, HG, plastic, etc. can be removed. Similarly, the important metals like gold, lead, copper can also be removed from this waste. What are the advantages? The advantage is that recycled materials can be used in developing new equipments. Valuable materials are retrieved, and this helps in environment by avoiding pollution. Landfilling. In landfill, what we do, landfill is also known as dump. Is a site for the disposal of waste material by barrier and is the oldest form of waste treatment. Only the disadvantage is that basically what happens, it has a leaching because metals like mercury, cadmium, that leaches into the soil and groundwater is polluted and it requires large space and it is not environmentally friendly. That's a problem with it. Then comes incineration. Incineration is nothing but it's a process. It's a controlled and complete combustion process in which this material is burned in specially designed incinerators at high temperature 900 to 1000 degrees centigrade. Advantage is that there is reduction in the waste. Volume is there. Utilization of energy of combustible substances are there. Hazardous substances are converted to less hazardous substances. Disadvantage is that emission of the harmful gases are there. Then some residual of cadmium and mercury are still there. Then reuse. In reuse, what we can do is that it constitutes the direct use after slight modification to the original functioning equipment. Reuse means again you have a mobile, you can give it to other. That's a part of the reuse. Advantage is that electronic equipment like computers, cell phones can be reused. This method also reduces the volume of the e-waste generation. No wastage of time and money. Now in India, basically 2 billion e-waste is generated every year, and we are adopting the harmful technique because of the informal sectors, which they don't know how to dispose them of. So what they do, they burn the wires in informal sectors in big cities, and they do the manual dismantling. Refining and conditioning is there. Refining means they take out the metal from the e-waste and then try to use it at some other equipments. Conditioning means again the refurbishment of new models, and solid waste is deposited in a municipal landfill. This is the e-waste in China. So in China, basically 4 billion calculators were discarded, 5 million TVs are TV sets were discarded, 5 billion washing machines were discarded. So China is receiving almost 90% of e-waste from the other countries. Now what is WEE directives? W is waste electronic equipment directive. What are these directives? So there is a set guidelines. These are the guidelines in this directive. These are the producer responsibility. In this directive, certain guidelines have been issued by the government. This says that producer or manufacturer are responsible for the management of their products entire life cycle, including collection, recycling, and disposal. They have to go for the generation of the collection infrastructure. Then their products are categorized, and there should be proper labeling on those equipments. Suppose I have a laptop with me, manufactured by some company, let us say Dell. So there will be one which will say that it will not be say disposed of on a landfill because of the blah blah results. So that's what the label should be there. And then we have the extended producer liability (EPR). What is that EPR? EPR has a license issued to the manufacturer or to the distributor. The lifespan of this license is for 5 years. So in this span, this manufacturer, they are supposed to file a return to the government. The government, what are the agencies? Agencies are the state pollution control board or the central pollution control board. So these are the agencies. They monitor it, and these returns are filed to them, and they see that how much is the quantity they are being basically returned to them for the proper disposal of such material. And in India, the maximum time allowed for storing e-waste is 180 days, and in certain cases it may be extended to 365 days. So what are the challenges for the e-waste management in India is that less involvement of people, ineffective legislation, involvement of the child labor, health hazards are there, then e-waste imports. So if you talk of the e-waste import, if you see that, you can see here, this is I have data for 2022. Now you can say almost 1.5 lakh metric ton was the electrical and electronic waste which was imported from the different countries. You can see here, United Arab Emirates, Yemen, Mauritius, Singapore, Kuwait, United States, and so on. Different countries. This is basically a second-hand equipment material, which cater to the needs of the general masses of the country, that is India. So, what are the reasons of importing electronic waste? So, the reasons are economic potential, demand for the new and used electronics, reduced consumption, and critical components. Now, the guidelines for e-waste management 2016, there are certain guidelines issued by the Ministry of the Environment and Forest. This says that triple E products are included under purview of this rule. Rules brought the producers under extended producer responsibility, that is EPR. That means under this EPR scheme, within 5 years, the electronic waste has to be properly treated or properly utilized. So if you see, if I show you the gazette notification, probably let me see if I have. So this is the gazette notification. Ministry of the Environment, Forest and Climate Change. This is the notification issued by the Government of India on 2nd November 2022. So this is what they have given us, that what are the producers and distributors they are supposed to do, when they are supposed to file the return. These are the regulations. For the manufacturer, producer, refurbishers, or recyclers, etc., etc. So there are set guidelines and responsibilities they have given. So whatever is being done, they are under the light of these guidelines or these rules. Okay. And for that matter, there are certain penalties are there. And there are certain NGOs also developing in India for proper e-waste disposal management. For example, SAAS is there, e-waste Cycle India is there, Cosmos Recycling is there, and Simpson Environmental Research and Action Group is there. Okay, now for we at the university, at the school or at the college, what we are supposed to do, that enhance awareness in the children through courses, curriculum, enhance community participation through involvement of RWAs, that is Resident Welfare Association, establish linkage between schools and manufacturers, producers, and public relation officers. We create products from waste and conduct model making competitions. And other awareness programs can be constituted like awareness programs for schools, teachers and children, awareness packages, information sessions under e-waste management by producers and manufacturers, develop board curriculum for schools, visit to nearby e-waste recycling facilities. Similarly, the community participation can be there by associating the resident welfare association, organizing collection drives for schools and neighboring countries. Also, we have one platform, the Diksha platform is there. This is basically being run by the Government of India, Ministry of Education. This Diksha platform is there. The objective of this is an online platform, and the content is online. Non-credit courses are there for 7 to 9, 1 to 12 standard school children are there. And the objective is to provide content for school students and teachers to enhance the knowledge of teachers on e-waste management. So this is one example that just one course I saw on this site. It was environmental hazards of electric waste, e-waste. So this was meant for class 1 to class 12 standard students. And the module has been prepared to create outreach and enhance advocacy with students and teachers across schools in India on the health and environmental impacts of e-waste. So, way forward, what should we do? There should be policy to be implemented quickly, need of inclusion of all the stakeholders, encouraging informal to formal networking sectors, increase employment in formal sector.